going on, guys? I got a special guest back for the second time on Pure Evil MMA. It's the champ, Jose Shorty Torres, the champion of Titan FC. What's going on, brother?
Everything's great, man. How about yourself?
I've been doing awesome, and you know what, man? I was so excited. The one thing that I really was upset about towards the end of this year was your fight not going through. I was like, no way, out of all the fights, I was like, had to be that one, but we just had great news that you're going to be fighting the same opponent, Pedro Nobre, coming up on UFC Fight Pass for Titan FC 43. How are you getting ready for this? Because, you know, last time you were getting ready, it got cut off, and now you're right back in the game. So, you know, what's changed, if anything, and how are you getting ready?
Trust me, I was just as disappointed as you were. I think the biggest two reasons I was disappointed was one, Pedro Nobre is a veteran. It'd be an honor to fight him and prove that I am the undisputed champion. And also, man, I missed Thanksgiving. I was cutting weight. I was getting down. I was like, so you're telling me I missed Thanksgiving? No, I'm pissed. So overall, I mean, so for people who don't know, 2 weeks before my fight, I was, or a month before my fight, I was in Colorado for 2 weeks training with Tim Elliott, who was the undisputed champ at the time.
Yep.
Brandon Moreno, who beat Ryan Benoit later on, like 2 weeks later.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Shelton, Joseph Benavidez, and TJ Dillashaw. So
Nice.
I'm sparring with all those guys, and these guys, top-ranked guys. So I'm really happy about it. I'm having a good time. Then I find out a week before the fight that my fight gets canceled. I was like, oh man. Well, the plus side was no matter if I fought or whatever the case may have been, I was going to go back to Colorado to help TJ get ready for John Lineker because my style is very, very forward, very aggressive. I don't care if I take a couple shots to give you one good one. And we ended up sparring before I was getting ready for my fight. And he goes, dude, can you come back and help me for Lineker? And TJ doesn't at all, hire people to come help him. So I was like, yeah.
Yeah, man, because I actually had that picture of you and Tim getting ready.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, Jose, you're cutting out a little bit.
It was awesome. Can you hear me right now?
Yeah, now it just caught up.
Yeah, it was cool, man. Getting to spar with all those guys. Joseph Benavidez hashtagged us as strange little men, and then being able to come back for the past 3 weeks. I actually just got back for Christmas Eve. The last 3 weeks, I've been going 100% sparring almost every other day with TJ Dillashaw. And I mean, this guy goes 100%, whether it's sparring, drilling, doing situations, no matter what the case is, he's always full game. And it was awesome to go with him. I learned a lot, and that makes me more prepared for Pedro Nobre.
Well, since Tim was the champion right before you were, and then you went to go train with them, the big question this week on Pure Evil MMA episode number 32, the first news story we broke was, of course, you getting the fight back. And we wanted to know if now you are the champion instead of the interim champ. Are you now the champ?
Be the champ since Tim Elliott won the tournament, which signifies Titan FC's seniority in the promotions. He proved that he's one of the best. It's great because of it, and he moves up and gives Demetrius Johnson a run for his money. That was an amazing, amazing fight where I'm watching like, yeah! And because of that, I'm now the undisputed champ, and I want to be able to signify that by beating Pedro Nobre.
So we spoke a little bit about this on the Halloween episode that you're on with Bilal, how you're getting ready for this matchup. Just to refresh everybody's mind, what are some things that you've been working on to get ready for Pedro? Because like you said, he's a veteran. This would be a great win on your list and to defend the title as well.
Well, one of the biggest reasons I wanted to fight him, because he is a veteran, he was in the UFC before, and to be just inducted into the UFC states that, hey, man, you're some of the best of the best. You might not be numbered in ranking, but you're some of the best of the best, and that's what I want to show people right now. Besides being the undisputed champ, I'm only 3-0 with a huge amateur record, but 3 professional fights is very, very small compared to 18-2 Nobre and some of the guys in the UFC. I want to show the UFC that I can beat somebody who's been in there already, and I can beat veterans. And I mean, for me, hell, my last 3 weeks were with the former bantamweight champion, a guy in a higher weight class, a guy who does nothing but move, a guy who I believe is 100% better than Pedro Nobre. Then you're going with Tim Elliott, who was the undisputed champ, a guy who's already experienced Pedro and beat him. So going with these guys, and Joseph Benavidez, who's #1 in the world behind the champion, Demetrius Johnson. I mean, if I'm holding my own with these guys, I'm not worried whatsoever against Pedro Nobre. I think it's just, if I don't move forward, that gives him nothing but time to attack, and I believe he's phenomenal and coming forward. But overall, I'm too forward an opponent. I'm too much like John Lineker. I believe a little more technical, but overall, I'm too forward for people to push me back. That's all I've been embedded in me was going forward, no sideways movement, no backwards. I just want to go forward and put on a good fight. And I think Pedro's actually going to have a really hard time with me, whether it's on the standing or on the ground.
Did you have any words with him? Once you found out that the fight wasn't going down, did you say anything to him, reach out to him, or his camp at all?
So the biggest thing, and I tweeted about it. I give people the benefit of the doubt, whether people do like to call him as the actor or whatever the case may be because of his UFC days of possibly faking an injury. He said that he tore his ACL, or that's what his camp said. So I was like, oh man, that really sucks. I know it was a big fight for him. It was a big fight for me, and hey man, this stuff happens. So I reached out on Twitter, was saying it really sucks. My fight's off, but I wish Pedro Nobre nothing but the best and a speedy recovery. And whether you want to say it or not, the speedy recovery came true. I get a call 2 weeks ago saying that, hey, Pedro Nobre has a small tear. He's actually fine, and he's ready to fight in January. And I'm like, Juan, then what doctor said it was an ACL tear? And the biggest thing is I know he has weight cutting problems. I have cut weight with him twice before in the last few Titan FC events that we were both in together. And he cuts a lot of weight. He does it in a very, very bad way. And yeah, I understand it, and I believe it was a weight cutting issue. But whatever the case may be, I'm hoping that he shows up on January 21st, and I'm hoping we can put on a show.
What guys do you personally work with to cut weight, and how do you go about dieting and all that?
So the funny thing was I wrestled 125 in college, but it pretty much traumatized me. I didn't know how to do it right, and I completely struggled when it came to making weight, and it immediately affected my performance every single time I went in there. But when I turned pro, my first two fights were at 35 because I was like, I just don't want to do it. I don't care if I'm 5'4" or not. And I ended up meeting Luis Giordano, Nutrition, who works with Sergio Pettis and John Jones, Johnny Hendricks for this upcoming fight, and so many more. And he was helping me in my first fight. I got super lean, helped me for my second fight. And then he, told me, hey, how about you drop down to 25? That's when Tim Elliott ended up getting bumped up and they had the vacant belts. I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I trust you. You do a phenomenal job with me so far. We'll see how it goes. And I've never made 125 so easy. And then actually, for this last fight, I was 145 2 weeks before. Like, my body just gained a little more muscle than I wanted. And I actually was only 5 pounds over the Monday of. So I was like, oh, this is awesome. I'm drinking a gallon of water a day. I'm eating 4 meals a day. This is phenomenal. Like, thank you, Lou. And now, sadly, the fight got canceled. But we're working together for this fight, and I'm just excited.
Where are you right now, Shorty? It looks like you're in like a third grade classroom. You got the world globe behind you, some inspirational quotes. Where are you right now doing the podcast?
I'm actually down in St. Louis. I went to go visit my fiance. She's back down here in school at McKendree University, back for her.
Right.
So she wrestles, and she has to be here early for wrestling season. I'm, again, she's in school. I'm always traveling. I was 3 weeks in Denver, Colorado. Before that, a week in Chicago, and then down in Texas. And again, I travel a lot, helping other fighters and helping myself train in the meantime. So now I'm just traveling right now, just enjoying New Year's down here with her. Be here for 2 weeks and then go to Chicago, and I might actually fly to Jersey to go visit Luis Giordano and get that last week of proper eating, proper weight cutting. He owes me a couple meals, So.
What are you going to be doing for New Year's? Of course, we just had Christmas. It's a crazy week. You got to get ready for your fights. You're with your girlfriend. I mean, there's so much going on. But we have this new year coming, and it's been a crazy year of 2016. We're going to start it off fresh. How are you going about doing that?
It's funny because 2016 was horrible for everyone else. For me, I had my professional career. I had 3 wins, undefeated. I got a belt. I have the UFC looking at me. The only flaw I had was missing Thanksgiving and not fighting December 2nd. That would have easily ended my year on a high note. But, right now, for New Year's, I'm just, staying with my fiance, just getting ready. And she has that wrestling mentality. She's super strict. She doesn't at all let me cheat on my meals or let me break if I I don't want to go run today. She'll, push me up. She'll go run with me. So overall, I'll be working out most likely New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, but just spending time with her. And overall, just getting ready for the fight. I mean, I'm already set. I've been in 3 straight training camps in a row, and no fights. So I haven't fought since August, but I'm pretty much ready. I mean, I just went 3 straight weeks with TJ, and we're going 5 rounds back and forth, and 8,000 feet. So overall, I'm ready conditioned right now. I think I'm just gonna run and drill the rest of the camp because there's no reason to kill my brain if I don't need to.
I have to ask you this. I have to ask everybody this, even people on the street if I want. Who do you think's gonna win, Ronda Rousey or Amanda coming up this Friday?
So I did a podcast yesterday and we brought this up. I think Nunes is gonna win, and the reason why, even though Ronda Rousey looks phenomenal in her Reebok stuff, she's coming out, she's hyping up the fight. Whether I don't want to be on camera, I want to be on camera, whatever the case may be. I just don't think Ronda Rousey she was, and even if she is, I think everyone is starting to catch up, and I believe her fights have gotten tougher every single one. Misha Tate the second time was able to get closer to beating her. Obviously, Holly Holm was able to knock her out and demolish her. I think Amanda is too forward and puts too much pressure on her to let her win the first round. And I think Ronda losing the first round is mentally damaging for her.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
gonna be
huge for her. She's had big head on her shoulders, walks with her chest high. She's a very confident person. Again, I respect that to the fullest. But she also has that mentality where, oh man, this girl's better than me, and it slowly starts coming down. So I think Amanda's gonna be able to finish in the first round. She has heavy hands. That's where Ronda struggles. And again, Amanda knows that she wants to go to the ground. If she's that strong and she's smart enough, she's gonna be able to stay on her feet. And I think she's gonna be able to knock out Ronda. I hope, the best for Ronda, but I just don't see it.
Well, there's one more fight I have to ask you about. Dominick Cruz versus Cody No Love. Now, Cody kind of jumped the ladders really quick. I personally thought TJ deserved the shot, and they said it had Cody fight Lineker. It didn't work out that way. What do you think is going to go on for the Dominick Cruz fight, and also TJ's fight, because that's a fight no one's even been talking about this week.
Yeah, I mean, Cody's a good-looking guy. He's smart. He's been doing a lot of things. He's knocking out people, and he's a young fan favorite. For people who don't know MMA, people are like, "Oh, I know that guy. He's got tattoos, whatever."
Yeah.
It's Cody, yeah, that guy. And they want to see him fight. And obviously they pushed him up and gave him the right fighters, and again, everything's worked out well for him. That's awesome. And I'm not saying he's not good. I believe he can be a champion one day. I just think he's moved up too fast. Um, and Dominick Cruz, he's faced nothing but guys that fight like Cody.
Yeah.
Against guys who want to brawl. But I mean, again, TJ, I believe TJ won that fight
Me
against
too,
Dominick
man.
Cruz.
I was just saying that.
But if TJ had a problem with him with all the movement, and TJ's a movement king, and I can say from experience, then what do you think a guy standing still is going to be able to do? Again, I think Cody can knock him out. I think that's awesome. If he clocks him, that'd be freaking phenomenal. He's a huge underdog win, but I just don't see him touching him. I believe he's going to get schooled
Well,
in
we're
this
gonna have
fight. I see him losing any other way besides a unanimous decision, but I think Dominick Cruz is going to have an easy fight.
Well, we're gonna have a lot to discuss once that fight ends, and like you were just saying with TJ, I mean, he put together a great game plan. The movement that he was even working on, the amount of punches that he was throwing. You actually just got to train with him. So how do you think he's gonna make out with the Lineker fight? Because he looked great in the Assunção fight. A lot of people thought he should be fighting Dominic here. How is he gonna do against John?
It's funny because everyone's like, "Oh, will you spar like Lineker?" I'm like, a little bit. Lineker keeps his hands down here. I'm more of here. I throw more straights. He throws, hooks and just round punches. And man, anytime you try to imitate someone, for some reason, I always get hurt. like TJ just goes 100%. Whether again, I don't know if you see my eye, but I have a nice little black eye. Call me with a nice uppercut. And again, TJ is trying to knock you out. He's 100% into the game. He wants to be the champ again. And I'm a little biased here, but I can say from experience, I've never seen or even sparred with a guy who's moved like this. And again, I'm as forward as Lineker. I love the game. I love to put on a show, mainly stand up. But I personally think he's going to take down Lineker and just pass him out in the third round. I actually think he can submit him. I don't know if he'll be able to knock out Lineker because Dotson was able to clock him a few times, and it was like, "Come on, man, I'm ready for it." And it's like, dude, I've been dazed by Dotson. Dotson hits hard, and I can usually take a shot. And with those little gloves, man, I applaud you, but I think TJ is going to be able to just rough him up. Hopefully, fingers crossed, he doesn't get caught. Lineker is very, very forward. Hopefully for him, he knows how to cut off a cage and, stop a takedown.
So as we get towards the end of this interview, what can everybody expect from your fight? Do you have any predictions or or anything at all that you can let us know about?
Yeah, man. I think Pedro Nobre will be my toughest fight. I hope he's my toughest fight. I would love a Carlos Condit, Robbie Lawler type of fight, or Swanson Chow fight. That would be amazing,
Yeah.
But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I don't see it that way. The only time I can see him for an opponent do that, I can see me finishing him in the fight. I don't know what round. I'm going to say 2 or 3. He does gas out. He has a problem cutting weight. I'm nothing but forward. My conditioning tank's always great. And again, we saw me fight Abdiel, a guy who does nothing but move, and I was able to knock him out. If I have a guy standing right in front of me, I'm going to have an awesome, awesome time. So I believe I'm going to either TKO him in the second or third round.
You know what we do at this point in the interview. I hand the imaginary microphone over to you if you have any shout outs, your social media tags so everybody can find you. And we're so excited to watch Titan FC 43. So happy that you got this fight. Where can everybody find you? If you have any shout outs, the floor is all yours, boss.
I appreciate it. I'm really happy that, I was a co-main event for Titan FC 42, and now only at 3, and now I'm getting promotion on UFC Fight Pass. So I'm happy. Fingers crossed everything goes well and win this fight being the UFC. But I obviously got to thank King Love Communication for helping me out. Luis Giordano for the shout out. Again, helping me out my nutrition. Bad Boys for supporting me. And again, if people want to follow me, Jose Shorty Torres MMA on Facebook. Jose Shorty Torres Instagram. Shorty Torres 125 on Twitter. If you want to support Team Shorty and showing off this hoodie I have on my logo, Jose Shorty Torres.com. The Wasco Center in Coral Gables, Florida, live on UFC Fight Pass. Thank you guys so much.